What is up, dolls? We're back again with another video. We're in our Mindful Monday shirt and we're ready, okay? We're ready to start the episode. This is a good area. Y'all gonna be seeing me, y'all finna be seeing me in all types of areas. I really like to film outside when I'm doing my Mindful Monday episodes because it just gives a whole nother vibe. We connecting for real, you feel me? We outside, baby. We doing the damn thing. We got our yoga mat.
The famous taking up a here shit, playing around with the camera on some silly shit. It all started as a joke, I ain't know then that I can do this all for real, pad in the pen. Met a nigga, knew a nigga with a studio. He like, I think you should record. I think that.
Welcome back to episode 5 of Doll Club. I hope you guys are loving the series so far. Mindful Monday again. Today's video is about how you can stop letting how you should stop letting fear limit you from your success. Maybe fear has been limiting you. Let's get into it. How to stop letting fear win. Because, honey, I've been letting fear win. You've been letting fear win. So let's stop, okay? The first thing that we have to understand is first step to fixing all of this or understanding all of this or getting to the bottom of what you should do next is first you need to acknowledge that fear has been limiting you. And what areas has fear been limiting you? So when I say acknowledge that fear has been limiting you, I mean go in with self. Go do a deep self check and talk to yourself and just observe your thoughts, observe what you've been feeling lately. Once we are able to acknowledge our fears, then we are able to pinpoint what actually is stopping me from success. What is actually stopping me from going to the next level? You realize that it's really yourself. You realize, damn sis, damn bitch, it's really me. Like, after you go through the phase of denial and blaming everything or how your situation is right now on worldly things, or just blaming whatever your situation you're in on everything else and everybody else, and not taking accountability that your fears could be limiting you from success, then that is our first step to actually growing. That is our first step to actually understanding, okay bitch, it's really you, it's not them, it's you. And there's nothing wrong with realizing that it's you and not them, because when you realize it's you and not them, that's when you start to have personal growth for real. That's when you really start to dig into deeper of who the fuck you are, why you're like this, and you can start on these things so that you don't have to stay like this, baby. We don't have to stay in these mindsets of I wasn't able to do it back then, so that's just how I am, I can't do it, or you can say what the fuck was that? I can't be outside, too much damn shit. Okay, what you can't do to yourself is be like, all my life I was shy, so basically I can't be an outspoken person because all my life I was shy. Like, do you understand how those limiting beliefs keeps you tied up into one? It keeps you tied down and not grow. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you not elevating because your mind is stuck in, I'm always shy, I'm gonna forever be shy. That's not growth. We cannot expand, fully step into our success and the true success that God has for us if we do not stop these limiting beliefs, if we do not address these limiting beliefs and understand that these are limiting beliefs. That's our first thing we have to do. We have to understand and acknowledge that these are limiting beliefs. These are thoughts, but these are not facts. Like, yeah, you may think that you're not, that's the key word right there, think that you're not good enough, but that's just a thought that can be transformed to a positive thought. All of our negative thoughts can be transformed into positive thoughts. You don't have to wake up every morning and think, I'm a horrible person, I can't go on and I can't complete these tasks, I can't be successful. Like, thinking these thoughts daily, we can change this. You don't have to think like this. Like, you can literally change. One thing people don't really, I feel like, know about their mind or about their emotions is that you can literally change your emotions and your thoughts just like that. just in the spare of the moment. That is mind control. When you are aware that you are sad, when you are aware that you are happy, when you are aware that you're being jealous, when you're aware that you're being envious, when you're aware of these things, you're able to jump right up out of them. You feel me? Like, you're able to get them real quick and put your hand on it real quick because you're aware. Oh, hold on, why am I feeling jealous right now in this moment? Is it because I don't have these things yet? We attract all that we are. So if you are attracting all that you are, and everybody around you right now is like very negative mind space, not really on their shit, or they just are not focused and not in tune with self, that is a reflection of yourself. Notice when you're around a certain group of people, or when you're like around a certain group of people or whatever, you tend to start acting like that group of people. So you have to be careful of who you surround yourself with, because that is true. You can really pick up on other people's energies, other people's habits, and everything. You just have to be mindful of that. First step is acknowledging that fear has been limiting you. Okay, so what are some examples or ways that fear can be limiting you? A lot of people have the fear of being wrong, and honestly, that's something that I struggle with a lot still now. I have this fear of always wanting perfection, and it has something to do, this is another limiting belief, but it has something to do, y'all, with being a Virgo. It's like everything I want has to be freaking perfect, but it's just a mindset thing. I gotta let that shit go. Honestly, my fear of being wrong limits me from a lot of things, because I'm constantly in my head. I'm constantly like, oh, if I say this, then it's not the right words that I should be saying. Like, what if these are not the right words that I should be saying? What if this is not the exact message that they needed to hear? Like, I always have this underlying fear of being incorrect, and that is very limiting, because you can't grow being afraid to jump in the water. Like, you can't grow being afraid of what the outcome may be, because you're never gonna know what the outcome. We're not God. Like, we don't know what the outcome is gonna be. But when you pressure yourself, you think of the future this much, you are putting yourself in a roundabout emotions of fear, because you're so focused on the future or what could possibly happen. A symptom like me of being a freaking perfectionist, let that shit go, because there's no such thing. I like to say there is such thing as perfect, because when God made everything, he made it perfect. He made it good. He made everything and he said that it's good. So it's already good. What am I doing to add anything to that? Ain't shit. I ain't doing shit. Okay, it's already there. It's already good. My mindset on perfectionism has changed. Slowly changing, because I'm realizing I have a different perspective on perfection now. Perfection is not a limiting belief of how I feel like it should be, but perfection is what God has already made it. God already made me perfect, baby. I'm perfect. I'm perfection. Another one is fear of not being good. This is a fear I struggle with as well, y'all. This is very transparent. This is damn near all my fears. I'm a scary ass bitch, okay? But I do that shit afraid. I've definitely struggled with this fear for a while. It stems all the way back to school. Always having to feel like I have to get a certain amount of A's. I have to get certain grades. I have to do this and that to be who my family sees me to be, or I have to accomplish this and this for my family to love me, or accomplish this for my family to be proud of me, friends and family to be proud of me, for my own self to be proud of me. I have to do X, Y, and Z before I can just be proud of me. And it's just like, girl, you are literally your biggest critic, biggest hater. You have to be way more kind to yourself, because once I realized I wanted to do for myself and what I wanted to do for our dog, who I wanted to become, and when I realized that nobody else's opinion matters, nobody thoughts about what you got going on or who you're becoming matters. What anybody thinks of you in your phases of life none of that shit matters, because they're all opinions. And if you really think about it, you have opinions about everybody too. I mean, their life is gonna go on whether you have these opinions or not. Like, so why would you dictate your entire life on other people's opinions? Not worth it, sis. Like, have fun, do you? Because baby, let me tell you how bad a bitch used to be stressing for not being good enough. Like, honestly, y'all, I was crazy, and my boyfriend really made me realize like the shit I was doing was very unhealthy. I used to be very like mentally afraid that I was never gonna be enough for my family. Like, I would always feel like I wasn't doing enough to be successful in their eyes. I had have all A's, literally just A's, and coming to school, coming home. And I really feel like even after putting my all into doing that, I still felt like it wasn't enough to be successful in their eyes. So I would do things like, oh, it's a crazy thing, guys. So I had got my first car, and usually when I would go over to my parents' house, they would just be like, if my car was dirty or something, they would make comments about like, girl, you need to wash your car, da 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 da. But like at the time, even if they were like having joking comments, it was a very sensitive time in my life, and it was like, damn, whatever I'm doing is always something. It's like, damn, okay, I just bought a car, but you're talking about I need to clean it? Like, can we talk about, can we praise the part that I just got a car on my own? I went over there. Before I went over there, I'm at the bottom of my car, you guys, scrubbing my tires, like the rim. I was scrubbing the rim with a wet wipe, baby. Like, I was literally so fixated on their opinions and what they'll think of me when I came over to visit them or came to talk to them or anything. When I came around them, I was so fixated on being this perfect person, this ideal daughter. I don't know where I got this idea in my head, but I was just fixated on being this perfect person to live up to their expectations, and it just wasn't me. I did not have time to wash my car, and that was just the reality in the moment. I didn't have time to wash my car, and probably if I did have time to wash my car, I wanted that time to relax. I was working 2 jobs, trying to pay for my apartment, so my mindset really shifted a lot. Really am so proud of myself because I'm growing. I no longer let people's opinions, I really didn't let outside people's opinions, but I let my loved one opinions affect me the most. Another thing I want to say is you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You're living your life because God destined and pushed you here to live this life. So you don't have to prove, or you don't have to answer to anybody. If you feel a certain way about something, that's just how you feel about it. If you move a certain way about something, that's just how you move. You don't ever have to justify. And remember, babe, that no is a sentence on its own. It don't have to be no because this, no because that, no because nothing. No, it's the sentence. That's the end of it all, then that's boundaries. What fear is: an emotion caused by the belief of someone or something that is dangerous, likely to cause you pain or a threat. So let's go back to the beginning of that definition. Emotion caused by belief. Let's stop right there. Fear, one, is an emotion. Knock that out the way. Not that deep as we think it is. It's just a fucking emotion, okay? And emotion that is caused by belief. Let's get into what is belief. What is belief? Belief is an agreement. It's an acceptance of a statement, basically. That's what your belief is. It's an acceptance, agreement. That is belief. So if you agree with something, if you agree with a thought in your head, you can make yourself fearful that fast. If it's a negative thought, you have made yourself fearful from that thought, even not even knowing the outcome of what the situation will be. By alone, you've made yourself fearful. That's how powerful thoughts are. Just by the belief of, just by you agreeing with your thought that I'm not good enough, you've put fear into your heart. Just by your belief that these people are not gonna enjoy what I'm talking about, they don't care what I'm talking about, just by that underlying belief, you've put fear into your heart to even show up the way you would have showed up before without that fear. So I'm not saying that you can't show without fear, because of course fear is an emotion and it's bound to happen and it's gonna happen. But what I'm saying is we put ourselves in these fearful states by thinking of these emotions and then automatically thinking the worst possible outcome. Now we are afraid of this outcome that we have created in our head that don't even exist. See what I'm saying? When we put ourselves through way too much stress than we really should. Like we will go into things a little bit more with less stress and more confidence if we started putting more positive thoughts in our head before things, instead of dwelling on the negative thoughts and what could possibly happen negatively instead of what could possibly happen positively. Now that we know step 1 is acknowledgement, step 2 is interrogate our fears so that we can understand them more. So what I mean about that is literally break down your fear. What has been causing you to feel this way? Why are you ultimately scared to do what you've been saying you want to do? What's really holding you back? Is it the opinions of others? Is it what they will think? Is it you fearing how you would look? Do you feel like you would look stupid doing this? Do you feel like people have never seen this side of you, so who you think you finna be coming up in here doing that? If you feel like any of those things, those are perfectly fine. Those are just emotions, those are just thoughts. But when we start to become more aware of these thoughts, we can flip these thoughts into positive thoughts, and we can say, okay, now we've been feeling like this, we've been feeling down, we've been feeling out, we've been feeling like we're not good enough. Let me switch that thing. I am good enough. I am worthy of this. I do deserve this. This is my destined life. Like, talk to yourself like you a bad bitch, you know? Don't talk to yourself like you ain't that bitch. My third thing, after interrogate, my battery about to die, y'all. Choose to act differently. So that's the third thing to do, is choice. It's your choice now, baby. You are aware that fear has been limiting you. You are aware that you have a fear of opinions. You're aware of these things now. Now that you are aware, it's time for action. We can't just sit on these things and, oh, that's just how I am, that's just how I'm gonna be. No, you see that you're this way and you start to implement actions little by little to make you come out of this limiting mindset. So that's step 3, deciding what to do next and making the commitment to stand on that shit, do that shit, and to better yourself. Okay, now everybody is gonna be different because everybody goes through different things, so you have to choose for yourself what you want to stand on and what you need to do, what things you need to work on, the limiting effects of your mind. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. And to become a doll, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in to my Mindful Monday talk. See you in the next episode, babe. I love you.